From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 15th, 2018. A Palestinian terrorist armed with a knife attacked a Jerusalem police station last night. The terrorist climbed over the fence of the Oz station located in the neighborhood of Armon HaNatziv and stabbed a border police officer standing at the entrance, lightly injuring him. The officer and other officers struggled with the terrorist until he was neutralized. Israeli media reports that one of the officers shot at the terrorist, injuring him. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. At least 4 Israeli police officers were taken to the hospital as well with minor injuries, some from the struggle, and at least one was hurt reportedly by shrapnel from the gunfire. Today, police raided the home of the terrorist and arrested several of his family members. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met today with U.S. Special Representative for Iran and Senior Policy Advisor to the Secretary of State, Brian Hook, in Jerusalem. Netanyahu thanked Hook for the powerful American sanctions against Iran. He said it's the most important thing that has been done against the most aggressive power in the region that has to be rolled back. Later today, the Prime Minister, along with senior IDF officials, met with the mayors of Israel's southern regional councils after the barrage of rocket fire on those communities earlier this week, and in response to anger from some residents of the south who feel their situation is being neglected. Many of those residents protested once again today against the ceasefire reached between Israel and Hamas for a halt in violence from Gaza. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin met with the Pope at the Vatican this morning, thanking the pontiff for his strong stance against anti-Semitism. Rivlin said your absolute condemnation of acts of anti-Semitism and your definition of such acts as anti-Christian are a significant step in the ongoing fight to stamp it out. Rivlin also spoke of the hundreds of rockets fired this week at southern Israel, telling the Pope Israel does not want escalation or to hurt innocent civilians, but will not stand by while Hamas undermines stability and our civilians are harmed. Ynet reports that Rivlin will meet tomorrow with Italy's Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte and Italian President Sergio Mattarella. The Foreign Minister of the Czech Republic, Tomáš Petříček, visited the Western Wall in Jerusalem this week. He went to the holy site on Tuesday, accompanied by Israel's ambassador to Prague, Daniel Miron. Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister Tzipi Hatoveli praised Petříček, whom she said made history as the first European minister to come to the Kotel, accompanied by an Israeli ambassador. The Palestinians were not pleased. Secretary General of the PLO, Saeb Erekat, called the visit to the wall a violation. Yesterday, Petříček met with Palestinian Authority Foreign Minister Riyad al-Malki in Ramallah, where the two discussed conditions for a restart of peace talks, as well as an announcement made in April by Czech President Miloš Zeman of the beginning of a process that will move the country's diplomatic missions from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, while falling short of saying Prague would open their embassy in the city. Petříček told al-Malki that the Czech house that will open in Jerusalem later this month does not have any diplomatic status and is only a cultural center, reiterating that the Czech Republic stands by the European Union's policy, which considers Jerusalem the capital of both Israel and of a future Palestinian state. A trial continues today for former Nazi concentration camp guard Johann Rehbogen. Rehbogen, who is now 94, was between the ages of 18 and 20 when he served at the Stutthof concentration camp in Poland. He told the Munster State Court today that he thought most of the deaths at the camp were due to diseases and epidemics. Over 60,000 people were murdered at the camp in a gas chamber by lethal injection and shootings. The DPA news agency reported Rehbogen claimed he was not aware of the gas chamber or of the systematic killings, and that he had no choice but to obey his commanders. Prosecutors believe otherwise and argue that Rehbogen is an accessory because he helped the camp operate. Well, the race for mayor of Jerusalem is over. Moshe Leon was declared the official winner yesterday after a second round of elections were held this week and final votes were tallied, beating out Ofer Berkovich. Leon will step into the role, replacing Nir Barkat, who announced earlier this year that he would be running for the Knesset. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, November the 15th at 7 o'clock. It's Talmud study. At 8, JBS takes you to a memorial rally in honor of Ari Fuld, the 45-year-old American-Israeli father of 4 who was murdered this past September in Efrat by a Palestinian teenager. Leading the gathering is Rabbi Avi Weiss, Israeli Consul General Dani Dayan, and Ari's father, Yonah Fuld. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Esther Waxman, mother of kidnapped and murdered Israeli soldier Nachshon Waxman, on the Chaim. And at 10, we hear from Robi Damelin, whose IDF soldier son was killed by a Palestinian sniper. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's the Debka File. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 15th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.